Now later on today, I've got some guests coming over and I'm going to prepare them a beautiful piece of lamb. Now I'm going to be slow cooking this lamb over about a 4-hour period, so the meat is going to be wonderfully tender. It's a nice easy recipe because once you've got it cooking in the oven, it gives you plenty of time to go and do what you want. So leave it in the oven, cooking nice and slow, and you'll end up with something delicious. Now for cooking up this leg of lamb, I'm just going to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got my leg of lamb and mine weighs just over £5 in weight. If yours is a little bit smaller, don't worry, you can still use the same recipe. Now what we're going to do is rub on the outside some olive oil, season it with some freshly ground black pepper and some salt, and then fry it in this pot over the hob, probably for 8 or 10 minutes. Just try and build up a beautiful colour all the way round if you can. Once you've done that, take your leg of lamb out the pot, add a couple of onions, slice them down fairly fine with 2 tablespoons of plain flour. Now I'm going to add the flour because that's going to help thicken up the sauce later on. Then we add fresh rosemary, going to break the leaves off. Same with, the thyme, fresh thyme, break the leaves off because rosemary and thyme goes wonderful with lamb. Then we add 150 millilitres of red wine, 150 millilitres of lamb stock. Then you cook that in the oven, as I say, for about 4 hours. Just before the end, we're going to crush up some garlic. So I've got 5 cloves of garlic, some fresh parsley and white wine vinegar. And you pour that over the top of the lamb and it makes it taste beautiful. So there's all the ingredients, nice and simple, but it ends up making a delicious pot of food. Wonderful piece of meat. So let's go over to the hob and we're going to start off by browning off the lamb. So I've come over to the hob, got all my ingredients laid out. Now I'm going to be cooking my piece of lamb in this cast iron pot. These are really good for slow cooking or if you're doing things like stews, big heavy duty thing. Now what you can do is if you haven't got one of these, you could use a baking tin and then over the top you would put like a few layers of tin foil to sort of seal it up. Now with the pot I've got, it's only just big enough for the piece of lamb leg that I've got. So if you've got one of these pots, do make sure the piece of lamb you're buying does fit in. Mine only just fits, just about. Now what I'm going to do to start with is rub olive oil on the outside and then season it up with some salt and freshly ground black pepper. So I'm going to start with that first and then turn it round and do the same on this side. So get a bit more on there. One last bit. That's it. Now I'm going to put the salt and pepper on there next. And some salt. And what you want to do is rub that in and then turn it round and do the other side and also the ends as well. So do that all the way over. That's it. Again, rub that. Get it everywhere. Lovely. So that's ready to go in the pot. So I'm just going to switch the heat on fairly high. And once that's warmed up, we're going to put the lamb in there. Now I might just put just a little bit of oil in the bottom there. Now just wait for that to warm up. You can see there's a little bit of smoke coming off there, so it's pretty hot now. Now I'm going to pick up the piece of lamb and you'll see this will only just fit in this pot, literally. Skin of its teeth. And what I would say is 8 or 10 minutes in total, turn it round, try and build up the colour. And if you've got an extractor fan, put that on because it can be a bit smoky. That's it. I've been turning mine over and building up a nice colour all the way round. Now I've probably been doing mine for 7 or 8 minutes. Now I did turn the heat down because it was a bit hot and I didn't want to get it all black on the outside. So make sure you don't do it too hot. Now what I'm going to do is pull that out and put it back on the plate. So let's take that out very carefully, it's quite heavy. Now we can go straight in with the onions. And also, I've got that plain flour. Give that all a move around. You can always turn the heat down again if it's too hot. You want to get a little bit of colour, but you don't want to really burn them. That's it. Just keep moving those around. Again, probably another 8 minutes. Now I've been cooking the onions for about 7, nearly 8 minutes, and they're just starting to soften down a little bit. So what I'm going to do next is put the thyme and the rosemary in there. Now I'm just going to pretty much break some of the leaves off. That's it. Give that a mix around. Just cook those for about a minute. Now in the kitchen, the aromas are beautiful at this moment. Put that thyme and rosemary in there. Oh, delish. Now we can always turn the heat up a little bit, because I'm going to put some liquid in there. So I'm going to go in with the red wine. And at the same time, with the stock, give it a move around. Oh yeah. Now I think I'm going to put the lamb back in there. Let's just nestle that in there. Careful, because the pot's hot. Look at that, just fits. Put a lid on that. Switch the heat off. Put that in the oven. Now you want to put this into a preheated oven. Now I've just switched my oven on, so mine's just about preheated, so I'm going to go and place mine in the oven. So I'm just going to place my lamb in the oven. It's a preheated oven. Now be very careful with this pot, because it's very heavy and very hot. And we don't want you to burn yourself. I've got mine in a preheated oven, temperature wise 140 degrees Celsius, which is 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's gas mark 1. Now as I say, you want to cook that for around about 4 hours. Now 20 to 30 minutes before the end, what you want to do is pour over the crushed up garlic, the white wine vinegar and the parsley. Now you can make that up now, or you can make it up a little bit later, it's up to you. So have that ready, so 20 or 30 minutes before the end, you pour it over and you carry on cooking until you're round about the 4 hours in total. Now I'm about halfway through cooking the lamb, so I thought I'd prepare the garlic, the white wine vinegar and put the parsley in there, so it's all ready for when we want to pour it on top of the lamb. So I'm going to start off just by crushing cloves of garlic. So just do that until you get it nice and fine. So I finished crushing my garlic, got it reasonably fine. So what I'm going to do next is put the white wine vinegar in there. If you haven't got white wine vinegar, you can always use red wine vinegar. So put a good glug of that in there. That's it. Just get that quick move around. And what we can do is just put the parsley on top. Just wash that down. And there you go. That is all ready. We can leave that. I would say 20 to 30 minutes before the lamb is cooked. You can just pour it straight over the top of the lamb. Now I've had the lamb cooking for 3.5 hours. So let's take a look at it. Let's pull this out and see what's in there. Have a look. Oh, look at that. Oh, that looks absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to turn it over and see how it is. Now, be very gentle with this, because this meat is really soft. Oh, look at the colour, and oh, that looks wonderful. That's about to fall off. Look at this. Now, let's get that garlic mixture. Now, I've turned it around because I think this side's a little bit more presentable, and you know, you want to make sure that you present it the best way. Now I'm going to pour this over the top. Oh yeah, This garlic is really going to make it extra tasty. So just spread that around. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Garlic goes beautiful with lamb. Lovely. Now let's put the lid back on that. Carry on cooking. About another 30 minutes. Now I've been cooking my lamb for just under 4 hours. Now let's have a little look at this. Let's take the lid off. Oh, look at that. That looks wonderful. Now, what I'm going to do is just grab some of those juices and I'm going to put them over the top. Oh, lovely, lovely. Smells so good. Oh. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 10 minutes uncovered. Ah, this is smelling so good, this kitchen. It's beautiful. Now what I want to do is just slightly get a little bit of colour on the garlic. Now what you can do for the last 10 minutes, turn the heat up a little bit. So where I've gone from 140 degrees Celsius, turn it up to maybe 200, leave it uncovered, because I just want the garlic to have a little bit of colour on it. Because as I say, presentation is half of it really. So leave that, just get a little bit of colour on the garlic, and then we can, you know, put it on a plate and let it tenderise. Now take the lamb in the oven, look at the colour on that, it's absolutely beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of tin foil over there, very loosely, let that tenderise, 20 to 30 minutes, and we're going to serve that up, mashed potato, vegetables, and that will be delicious. Now I've left the meat to tenderise. Oh, that is smelling so good. Now I'm going to try some of this. I'm going to cut a little bit off there. Look at this, look, wobbly. This is like falling off the bone. Oh, look at this. That looks absolutely wonderful. Now I'm going to try some of this. That is looking delicious. Oh, that is soft. And that has got a lovely flavour to it. That is unbelievable. You can't go wrong. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed, and go and cook this because it is so good and the meat is just so soft. When I carved it up, it fell off the bone. Fell off the bone. See you on the next video. The original Naked Chef.